Welcome in, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're tackling YouTube marketing. And judging by the excerpts you sent from YouTube Marketing for Dummies, you're ready to go beyond those basic tips and really dig in. So get ready, because we're serving up some seriously actionable insights from Will Eagle's book today.
Yeah, you guys clearly want more than just the surface stuff, so that's what we're here for. Whether you're promoting a business or just want to, seriously up your YouTube game, we've got you covered.
I have to say, this book doesn't waste any time. Right off the bat, it dives into the importance of a marketing brief. It's tempting to jump right into filming, but Eagle's argument for a well-thought-out brief before even thinking about hitting record really resonated with me. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Oh, man, it's like building a house without a blueprint, A total recipe for disaster. And you'd be surprised how often that happens in the YouTube world. People get so caught up in making videos that they forget the strategy, the goals, the audience, the whole why behind it all.
It's like he says in the book, the brief is your North Star, right? Guiding all your YouTube efforts. And it's more than just deciding what videos to make. It's about figuring out the why behind your whole YouTube presence.
Exactly. And a huge deeper part of that why is knowing your audience. Who are you trying to reach? What are they into? What problems are they trying to solve? That's where this 4Cs framework comes in: consumer, category, competitor, and culture. The book lays it out as a way to really wrap your head around your audience.
Okay, yeah, let's break down those C's. Let's say we've got a local bakery, right? They want to expand it using YouTube. How would they use these 4Cs?
Perfect example. So consumer, that's where they figure out exactly who their ideal customer is. Are they busy people grabbing breakfast on the go? Are they families looking for the perfect birthday cake? Understanding what makes those customers tick is key to creating content that actually resonates.
So it's like stepping into their shoes, right?
Right.
Seeing the world through their eyes.
Exactly. Then you've got category. The bakery needs to see where they fit in the grand scheme of YouTube. What are other baking channels doing? What's already working in that world? It's all about understanding the trends and the competition within their specific little niche.
Gotcha. So analyze the playing field. Okay, what about competitor? Where does that fit in?
Okay, so competitor is where the bakery checks out what other bakeries, especially the successful ones, are doing on YouTube. What are their strengths, weaknesses, what kind of content are they putting out? This is how they figure out how to stand out, maybe by focusing on a specific baking style or showcasing their commitment to using local ingredients.
So it's about finding their unique flavor.
Yeah.
Right? That special something that makes them different. Okay, last but not least, there's culture. What does that mean in this whole bakery scenario?
Culture is all about those bigger picture things. Social trends, cultural influences that might resonate with the bakery's audience. Are there any current food trends they could tap into? Local events they could be a part of? It's about being in tune with what's happening in the world and making sure their message fits in.
So being relevant and timely makes sense.
Right. And here's the thing. The book really hammers home that all these insights have to be actionable. It's not just about gathering a bunch of information. It's about using that information to shape your content, your marketing messages, even your brand's personality on YouTube.
Turning information into action. Now, the book also dives into this fascinating concept of micro moments, those little moments when people grab their phones to learn something, do something, buy something, or go somewhere. It argues that these micro moments are crazy important for marketers, especially on a platform like YouTube. Can you unpack that a bit?
For sure. Micro moments are those split-second decisions, When someone needs information or a solution right now, think about it. How often do you pull out your phone to look up a recipe, watch a quick tutorial, or compare products? Each one of those is a micro moment.
Oh, man. I am so guilty of that. 100 times a day. It's like our phones are extensions of our brains now.
Exactly. And as marketers, we have to be ready for those micro moments. We've got to be there with the info, the entertainment, the solution that people need right when they need it. And that's where YouTube comes in. It's a platform built for capitalizing on those moments.
So how does our bakery actually use these micro moments to their advantage?
Okay, imagine someone's on YouTube searching best chocolate cake recipe. That's a classic I want to know moment. The bakery could have a killer video tutorial pop up, optimized with those exact keywords.
Right. So it shows up right when they need it. And what about those I want to go moments?
Oh.
Like if someone searches bakeries near me.
Boom. There they are. The bakery could have a video showing off their amazing atmosphere, the friendly staff, those mouth-watering pastries, maybe even offer a discount for mentioning the YouTube video. Really entice people to stop by.
Smart. Hit them with the visuals and a little incentive.
Yeah.
It's all about connecting at the right moment. Now, the book also talks about setting the right campaign goals. It warns against getting fixated on just awareness. It's like, yeah, awareness is good, but YouTube can do so much more. It can influence brand consideration, engagement, even generate leads. Can we break those down a bit?
Absolutely. Brand and product consideration, it's not enough to just be a blip on the radar. You want people actively thinking, okay, this brand, this product, this is what I need. It's about moving beyond recognition to actual purchase consideration.
So it's about moving from, oh yeah, I've heard of them, to, okay, I'm actually going to check them out.
Exactly. And YouTube's a powerful tool for that. Think about it. Someone's watching a bunch of running shoe reviews, right? If one video shows a runner raving about how much they love a specific brand, boom, that brand's instantly on their short list.
Like word of mouth, but on steroids.
Yeah.
Okay, what about engagement? What does engagement really mean on YouTube?
Engagement is about making your viewers active participants, not just passive watchers. Liking, commenting, sharing, maybe even clicking through to your website. It's about building a community around your content.
So turning viewers into like fans, even advocates.
Exactly. And the book is packed with tips for boosting engagement, asking questions in your videos, running polls or contests, even just responding to comments thoughtfully. It all shows you're listening and that you care.
It's about building those relationships. Now, what about leads? How does YouTube fit into lead generation?
Think of every YouTube viewer as a potential customer. The key is to create content so good that it makes them want to take that next step, whether it's downloading a free guide or signing up for your email list.
So you're saying each video should have a clear call to action, something specific for viewers to do, like download my free recipe ebook or sign up for my baking masterclass.
Exactly. And when they do, bam, you've got a lead. You're building a list of people who are already interested in what you offer.
That's incredibly valuable. Now, I want to touch on something that feels a bit counterintuitive on a platform as huge as YouTube. Finding a popular niche. Can you explain that?
It seems crazy, right? But there are so many people on YouTube searching for super specific stuff. It doesn't have to be tiny, just focused enough to attract the right people. And because YouTube is massive, even a niche channel can blow up.
Got any good examples of that?
The book actually talks about this channel, Hydraulic Press Channel, where they crush everyday objects with a hydraulic press. It sounds insane, right? But millions of views. People are weirdly fascinated by it.
That is wild. It proves that there really is an audience for everything on YouTube.
For sure. The trick is to find a niche you're actually into, something that aligns with your brand. Don't be scared to get creative.
And then there's the whole evergreen content thing. What is that again, and why is it so important?
Evergreen content is all about longevity. It's those videos that stay relevant no matter what's trending. It's the opposite of like news-related stuff that's only relevant for a hot minute.
So like a tutorial on how to frost a cake. That's evergreen, right? It'll always be relevant.
You got it. Or a video showing how to change a tire. The info never gets old. Evergreen content is golden because it attracts viewers and like generates leads for years to come, long after you've posted it.
It's like building a content library that keeps on giving.
That's a great way to put it. And you can even repurpose that evergreen content on other platforms, really maximizing its reach.
Smart move. Now, let's switch gears to YouTube ads. The book makes it crystal clear. These are not your grandma's TV commercials. It's a whole different ballgame.
You got that right. You can't just take a 30-second TV ad, throw it on YouTube, and expect it to work. YouTube viewers, they're a different breed. They've got different expectations, different attention spans.
So what makes YouTube ads so different? What do we need to keep in mind when creating them?
The book stresses this point over and over. Grab attention fast. YouTube viewers, they're quick to hit that skip ad button. You got to hook them in the first few seconds, or you've lost them.
So no long, drawn-out intros. Get to the point and get to it fast.
Precisely. Start with a bang, something visually interesting, a bold question, whatever it takes. And then keep it concise, keep it visually appealing, and make sure your call to action is crystal clear.
And don't forget about the sound. People actually watch YouTube videos with the sound on, which is different from a lot of other platforms.
It's so true. Make sure your audio is crisp and engaging, and consider adding captions for those who watch with the sound off. You want to be accessible to everyone.
That's a great point. Accessibility is key. Now, the book makes this funny comparison about YouTube viewers having goldfish brains.
It's a little harsh, but it gets the point across. Attention spans are short, and there are distractions everywhere. You got to fight to keep those eyes glued to the screen.
So how do you do that? How do you create ads that stand out in all that noise?
Keep it fast, keep it dynamic. Think quick cuts, eye-catching visuals, even text on screen to reinforce your message. And don't be afraid to inject some personality, maybe even a little humor, to keep it interesting.
So it's about keeping the energy high and the pacing fast.
Absolutely. And remember, people come to YouTube for a million different reasons, so tailor your ads to the specific audience you're trying to reach.
You wouldn't show the same ad to someone watching cat videos as you would to someone researching a new car. It just wouldn't make sense. Now, the book also goes deep on YouTube analytics, which can feel pretty overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, it can be a lot to process, but it's essential.
Totally. But the book actually breaks it down into manageable chunks. It's about using data to make smarter decisions, not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
That's a great analogy. It's about understanding what's working, what's not, and why. Are people actually watching your videos all the way through? Are they clicking on your links? The answers are all there in your analytics.
Data is power. Okay, let's talk about some specific types of content that can really kill it on YouTube. The book mentions this Hero Hub Help framework, which sounds intriguing.
It's a great way to categorize your content and create a balanced approach. Hero content is your big guns think, high production value videos designed to make a splash.
Like a movie trailer, but for your brand.
Exactly. Often tied to big campaigns or product launches, featuring celebs or just stunning visuals, those videos that get people talking.
What about hub content? What role does that play?
Hub videos are your bread and butter. They're released regularly, like on a schedule, to keep your audience engaged over time.
So more like a TV series, right? With recurring themes or segments that keep people coming back for more.
Exactly. Vlogs, web series, product demos, anything that aligns with your audience's interests and keeps them coming back for more.
Makes sense. Okay, last but not least, there's help content. What's that all about?
Help content is your educational stuff. Tutorials, how-to guides, anything that provides real value to your viewers.
Like how to frost a cake, like a pro, for our bakery example.
Perfect example. People go to YouTube specifically to learn stuff, so help content is perfect for that.
So hero content grabs attention, hub content builds relationships, and help content provides value. It's a great system for creating a diverse and impactful content strategy.
I couldn't agree more. And the best part, it can be adapted to any niche or industry. Whether you're selling software or running a bakery, the Hero Hub Help framework can work for you.
That's awesome. Now, I'm curious about the whole channel management side of things. The book goes pretty deep on Creator Studio Classic, which, to be honest, can look a little intimidating at first glance.
It can seem like a lot, but it's really about getting comfortable with the tools. Think of Creator Studio as your YouTube control center. It's where you upload videos, create playlists, track analytics, interact with viewers, the works.
So it's mission control for your YouTube presence.
Exactly. And the book walks you through everything, step by step. Customizing your channel, managing comments, understanding your audience demographics. It's all in there.
Speaking of comments, the book really emphasizes engaging with your audience.
It's crucial. This isn't just a one-way street. Responding to comments, answering questions, even just dropping a quick like, it shows you're listening and that you care.
It's about building a community around your content.
That's it. Don't be afraid to be personal, to show some personality. That's how you connect with people.
And don't shy away from negative comments either.
Yeah, it's all part of the game. Address them constructively, show you're open to feedback, and use them as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Turning negativity into something positive.
Okay.
Let's talk about the actual videos themselves. The book claims you can create professional-looking stuff using just your phone. Is that really possible these days?
It's true. Smartphone cameras are insane now. You don't need a fancy, expensive camera to make high-quality videos.
So you're saying I can ditch my bulky DSLR and just use my iPhone?
Absolutely. And the book is packed with tips for shooting awesome video with your phone. Stabilize your shots, use natural lighting, find interesting angles. There's so many ways to get creative with it.
That's really empowering. But what about the audio? Bad audio can ruin even the best-looking video.
You're absolutely right. The book actually stresses good audio over video quality. People are way more forgiving of a slightly blurry video if the sound is clear.
So invest in a good microphone.
Absolutely. Even a simple lapel mic that plugs into your phone can make a world of difference. And pay attention to your surroundings. Minimize background noise as much as possible.
No more filming next to the washing machine. Got it. Okay, now comes the editing part, which can feel really overwhelming if you're not techie.
It can seem daunting, but the book makes it way less scary.
And there's so many user-friendly editing programs out there now, many of them free or super affordable. You don't need expensive professional software to create amazing videos.
Exactly. It's more about finding a program that clicks with you, something you're comfortable using. And if editing really isn't your jam, the book talks about outsourcing options too, like hiring a freelancer.
So there's a solution for every budget and skill level. Love it. Now let's talk about getting those videos seen. The book dedicates a whole chapter to SEO, which stands for
Search engine optimization. It's the magic sauce that helps your videos get found in the vast ocean of YouTube. Think of YouTube like a giant search engine for videos. SEO makes sure you show up in the results.
So it's not enough to just make great content. You have to make sure YouTube knows it's great too.
Right, that's where SEO comes in. It's about using the right keywords in your titles and descriptions, writing compelling summaries that make people want to click, and using tags to categorize your content.
And don't underestimate the power of a good thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. That thumbnail is your first impression. It needs to be eye-catching and relevant to your video.
It's like the cover of a book. It needs to grab attention and make people want to open it. So SEO is all about working with the YouTube algorithm to help your videos get seen by the right people.
You nail it. The higher you ranked in search results, the more views, the more subscribers, the more success on YouTube.
Makes sense? And the book warns against those shady SEO tactics like keyword stuffing or buying fake views.
Right. Those might seem like shortcuts, but they can really backfire. YouTube is way too smart for that. It's all about playing by the rules, creating high-quality content, and letting the algorithm do its thing.
Authenticity wins again. Okay, we talked about promoting your videos beyond just YouTube. Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Absolutely. YouTube's a fantastic springboard for reaching a larger audience across different platforms.
So don't just upload and hope for the best. Share those videos on other social media, embed them on your website, even connect with influencers who might be interested in your content.
Exactly. The more places your videos are, the more people they can reach. Think of it as cross-promotion for your content.
Love it. Cross-promotion is key. Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about some common YouTube marketing mistakes. The book has a whole chapter on this. And it's interesting because even experienced marketers can trip up on these.
It's true. YouTube has a lot of nuances. It's not always intuitive. So let's dive into some of those common pitfalls. Mistake number one, not defining your goals.
So just kind of winging it,
Yeah.
creating content without a clear purpose.
Exactly. It's like setting off on a road trip with no destination in mind. You might enjoy the ride, but you're not going to end up anywhere specific.
So figure out what you want to achieve with YouTube. More brand awareness, website traffic, whatever it is, set those goals first.
Exactly. Once you know what you're working towards, you can create a strategy to get there. Okay, mistake number two, not knowing your target audience.
So creating content without a clear picture of who you're trying to reach.
Right. It's like throwing a party and inviting everyone you've ever met, regardless of their interests. You might have a full house, but will people actually enjoy themselves? Probably not.
So do your homework. Who are your ideal viewers? What do they like? What are their pain points? Once you know who you're talking to, you can create content that really resonates.
Exactly. And remember, YouTube gives you a ton of data about your viewers. Use it. Your analytics can tell you who's watching and what they're interested in.
Data is your friend. Okay, what's the next mistake we should avoid?
Creating content that's just too promotional. Nobody wants to watch a 10-minute commercial.
So don't treat your YouTube channel like a giant infomercial.
Right. People are on YouTube to be entertained, to learn something, to escape for a bit. If you're constantly pushing products, viewers will tune out.
So focus on providing value, not just making a sale.
Exactly. Build relationships, not just transactions. People connect with brands they trust. Use your channel to build that trust.
Awesome advice. What's next on the list of YouTube marketing no-nos?
Neglecting SEO. We talked about this a bit, but it's worth repeating.
So basically making it impossible for people to actually find your videos.
Exactly. If you're not using relevant keywords, if your descriptions are boring, if you're not using tags, you're making it so much harder for people to discover your amazing content.
So treat your YouTube videos like little websites.
Yeah.
They need to be optimized for search.
Yes. And remember, SEO isn't a one-and-done thing. It's an ongoing process of refining and tweaking your strategy based on what you learn from your analytics.
It's about staying one step ahead of the algorithm. Okay, what's the next pitfall we should avoid?
Inconsistency.
The dreaded inconsistency trap. So we're talking about posting sporadically or disappearing for weeks on end.
Exactly. Consistency is key for building a loyal audience. People are way more likely to subscribe to channels that release new content on a regular schedule.
It's like a TV show. Viewers want to know when to expect the next episode.
Right. And if you're not reliable, they'll find another channel that is.
So set a realistic posting schedule and stick to it.
Exactly. And if you know you're going to be MIA for a bit, communicate that to your viewers. Let them know when they can expect new content.
Transparency builds trust. What else we got on our list of YouTube marketing don'ts?
Neglecting to actually promote your videos.
So don't just upload and hope for the best, right?
Right. You've got to hustle, share those videos everywhere. Social media, your website, email newsletters, you name it.
Be your own hype man. Shout it from the rooftops.
Exactly. The more places your videos are, the more eyes will see them.
Okay, last but not least, what's the final mistake to avoid on our YouTube journey?
Neglecting to actually interact with your audience.
So ignoring comments, not engaging with viewers, basically treating your channel like a ghost town.
You got it. YouTube is all about community. Respond to comments, answer questions, give shout-outs to your biggest fans.
It's about building those relationships and making people feel seen and heard.
Exactly. And those relationships can turn casual viewers into loyal fans, which is pure gold for your channel and your brand.
So much great advice. Looking at these common mistakes, it seems like they boil down to a few key things. Lack of planning, not understanding your audience, not promoting your content, and not engaging with your viewers.
You nailed it. Avoid those pitfalls and you're well on your way to YouTube success.
Awesome. Now let's talk about some real-life success stories. The book highlights some of YouTube's biggest stars, and I'm always fascinated by what we can learn from their journeys.
Me too. It's inspiring to see how these creators built their empires from the ground up. And while their paths are all unique, there are definitely some common threads.
Like what?
First and foremost, they're all crazy passionate about their content. They're not just chasing views or subscribers, they're creating videos because they genuinely love what they're doing.
So find your passion and let it shine through in your videos.
Exactly. Authenticity is key. Viewers can spot a fake from a mile away.
That makes sense. What else can we learn from these YouTube superstars?
They're all incredibly consistent. They understand that building a loyal audience takes time and effort, that you've got to show up consistently to gain people's trust and keep them coming back for more.
So set a realistic posting schedule and stick to it.
Exactly. Make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth. Your viewers will come to expect new content from you on a regular basis.
Okay, what else? What other secrets are hiding in their success stories?
They're all insanely engaged with their audiences. They respond to comments, answer questions, give shout-outs to their most loyal fans. They're building communities around their content.
It's about creating a two-way conversation, not just talking at people.
Exactly. That personal touch, that connection, it makes all the difference. It's what turns casual viewers into die-hard fans.
So don't underestimate the power of engagement. Now, I'm curious, are there any specific YouTube success stories that really stand out to you?
One that always comes to mind is Casey Neistat. He's a filmmaker and vlogger who built his following by documenting his life in New York City through daily vlogs.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. He's got this really raw, authentic style that people love.
He does, and I think that's a huge part of his success. He's not afraid to be himself, flaws and all, and people connect with that. He's relatable.
That's so important. People crave authenticity.
They do. Another success story that I find super inspiring is Michelle Phan.
She's a beauty vlogger, right?
Yeah. She started out making makeup tutorials in her bedroom, and now she's a multi-millionaire entrepreneur with her own cosmetics line.
That is incredible. What's the takeaway from her story?
I think it shows the power of passion and hard work. Michelle was obsessed with makeup, and she poured her heart and soul into her videos. She was consistent, she's engaging, and she hustled, and look where it got her.
So find your passion, put in the work, and don't be afraid to dream big.
Exactly. Michelle's story is proof that anything is possible on YouTube.
Love it. Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the most important thing to remember about these YouTube success stories?
Don't try to copy someone else's formula. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to YouTube success.
So don't try to be the next Casey Neistat or Michelle Phan. Be yourself. Find your own voice, create content that you're passionate about, and let your personality shine through.
Exactly. And remember, YouTube is constantly changing. What works today might not work tomorrow. So stay curious, experiment, be willing to adapt, and don't be afraid to try new things.
That's great advice. Well, I'm excited to dive into the final part of our deep dive, where we'll be talking about even more advanced strategies and techniques for YouTube marketing. All right, we're back, ready to dive into the final part of our YouTube marketing deep dive. We've covered a ton of ground already, but as they say, content is king, but analytics are queen. So let's head into the royal court of YouTube analytics, shall we? And I'm not just talking about views and subscribers here. What are some of those, like, under-the-radar metrics we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, views and subscribers, they're important, but they don't tell the whole story. YouTube Marketing for Dummies really gets into the nitty-gritty of the data that can make or break a channel. One that I always stress with my clients is average view duration. It tells you how long people are actually sticking around, not just how many times a video has been clicked on.
So a high average view duration, that means people are actually engaged, not just bouncing off after a few seconds, right?
Right.
What are some things creators can do to boost that number?
Think about your video's pacing and structure. Are you front-loading the good stuff, the most compelling parts? Are you keeping viewers hooked with visual storytelling, maybe a little humor sprinkled in? It's like that old writing advice. Show, don't tell. Make every second count.
Makes sense. Got to keep those viewers entertained. Okay, what other metrics should we be paying attention to?
Another one that often gets overlooked is audience retention. This one's really helpful because it shows you exactly where people are dropping off in your videos. Are they losing interest during the intro? Skipping over a certain segment? This data is pure gold for seeing what's working and what's not.
It's like having X-ray vision into viewer behavior. I can see how that would be super helpful for making your content even better.
Totally. And then there's click-through rate, or CTR. This one tells you how effective your calls to action are. What percentage of viewers are clicking on those links in your video descriptions or those end screens?
So if you're trying to drive traffic to your website, maybe a landing page, CTR is the metric to watch. How can we encourage more of those clicks? Any tips?
Think about placement, clarity, and enticement. Are your calls to action easy to see? Do they pop visually? Is the benefit of clicking crystal clear? A strong call to action is like a good salesperson. It's got to be persuasive.
I like that. Be persuasive. Now, we briefly touched on copyright earlier, but I think it's worth revisiting because it's such a tricky area, especially with all the music and video clips floating around online. What are some key things creators need to keep in mind to stay on the right side of copyright law?
You're right. Copyright can be a minefield, and YouTube Marketing for Dummies doesn't shy away from it. It stresses that you can't just use any song or video clip you find online. There are different types of licenses, and you need to make sure you have the right permissions.
So do your research. If you want to use copyrighted material, make sure you're using royalty-free music or stock footage, or reach out to the copyright holder directly to get permission. Better safe than sorry, right?
100%. And keep in mind, YouTube has its own content ID system. It's constantly scanning videos for copyrighted material. If your video gets flagged, don't freak out. The book walks you through what to do, whether it's disputing the claim or working things out with the copyright holder.
Knowledge is power. Understand the rules, respect copyright law, and you'll be good to go.
Exactly. And the good news is there's a ton of free, legal, creative content out there these days. So get creative and have fun with it.
This deep dive has been awesome. So much great info. As we wrap things up, what's the one big takeaway you hope our listeners remember from YouTube Marketing for Dummies?
For me, it's this. YouTube success isn't a magic trick. It's a journey. It's about passion, consistency, a willingness to learn and adapt, and always, always understanding your audience. But more than anything, it's about taking action. Don't be afraid to experiment, to make mistakes even, and to constantly refine your approach.
Love that. It's not about going viral overnight. It's about building something sustainable, something you're proud of, something that truly connects with your viewers.
You got it. And remember, YouTube's always changing. What works today might not work tomorrow, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and keep that passion for creating awesome content alive.
Such great advice. So to everyone listening, remember, YouTube Marketing for Dummies is your guidebook. But the real adventure starts when you hit that record button. Get out there and create something amazing.
Yes! Go for it.